In this video, I want to talk about another important part of your Facebook ad setup, and that is the placement of your ad.
This video is brought to you by OppiPies Academy.
Facebook can do this for you with automatic placements. It's very easy. You don't have to think or do anything. That's what they recommend, and for many cases, it's fine. But I would argue that you should do the edit placements and do this manually. If you are starting out, you might want to let Facebook do it for you, but there are some things you want to think about when you add your placements. For example, the devices. So you have the option of mobile versus desktop. Now, many people, they think mobile is all the rage right now. Mobile is so popular, mobile is growing. Those things are really true. Another thing that is true is that typical user engagement is shorter on mobile, because think of how you type on a mobile device and think of the nature of your own engagement on a mobile device. On your phone or a tablet, a lot of little pop-ups keep coming up. People message you, people distract you. There's all these articles, there's all these phone calls, text messages. So the attention span of a typical user, the same person, their attention span on a mobile device is a lot shorter than on a desktop device. Plus, on a desktop device, they can see more things, they can browse more clearly, and they can do more complex tasks. A complex task is not that complex, it's not rocket science, but what you need them to do, even something as simple as entering their email address when they're typing it in, they're far more likely to misspell it on a mobile device versus a desktop, just because they're typing with their thumbs and they're probably doing something else and you don't even know, but they could be in line at a store. They might only have 10 seconds to type it in. They might have more distractions. Now, of course, that's exacerbated if they have to go through a slightly more complex behavior, like entering a credit card or entering their shipping or contact details in case you're selling something, or creating an account. Then they have to do a lot more things, and it's going to take like a minute or two on their mobile device, and usually that's far longer than an average session length. So you might lose them because, for no other reason, because they're on mobile. So their engagement actually is stronger on desktops. They can see more, they can type better, and they have fewer distractions. So desktop is immediately one of the things that you want to consider the device. So I would actually take away the mobile, and I like desktop. Now, the platforms, for example, that just took away the Facebook Messenger and Instagram. So if you want to promote Instagram, you don't want to take the mobile away. But if you're selling something, maybe on a different ad, you want to play around with selling on Instagram, but generally you want to play around with Facebook and Audience Network. And you might even want to take away the Audience Network as well. Now in Facebook, you want to appear right in people's faces, right in their feed. That's where people see the ads. So Facebook news feed, that's a good place. On the right column, you get very little engagement. People very seldom browse there. But that might not be bad, because since nobody browses there, like I don't really look on the right side of my Facebook. If I do, and I notice something that really grabs my attention, that means I'm a more likely candidate. I've taken some interest. So actually the right column, it's going to get you a lot smaller volume of traffic, but they're going to be more interested because they were least likely to take interest. And if they did, that's a good sign. If you have a video, in-stream options become available, and you see a lot of other options are no longer available for advertising. But that's fine, because you can control your ads. You know exactly where they're going to be placed, because otherwise you had no idea. Is your ad, you're spending money, clicks, but you had no idea. Is it something that shows up in Instagram, or does it show up in Facebook, on a mobile device, on a desktop? And then you have no idea how to debug the situation. Like, what if the ads aren't working? What's the problem? So now at least you can identify where they're shown and be able to like debug the situation in case they're not working. So doing things manually like this would be a good idea. Now, if you just need engagement, or if you just want brand awareness and you don't care like where the ad is shown and you don't need a tremendous amount of engagement, then you do want to open up the options, and you even want to give Facebook the automatic placements option, because they will find cheaper placements for you if you give them flexibility for where to place your ads. So that's a decision. If you have some complex behavior you're going after and you want super engaged users, you might want to experiment with desktop. If you want a wider reach for, and cheaper cost per engagement, then you want automatic, then I think it's safe to choose the automatic placements.